people here? Hi, everyone. Okay, just for our new people, please just take note of the rules. The most important thing is that you need to keep yourself on mute all the time. And then if you want to ask a question or you want to answer a question, just remember to use the hands up emoji. And then once you've put the hands up emoji, then one of us, either Eric or I, will call on you so that you can answer the question. Okay, but don't just unmute and answer. Otherwise, it gets a bit crazy for all of us. And like that. So let's not do that. That was a perfect example of what not to do. And then Eric is our TA. So if you're wanting to send him a direct message while we're working. Aliziwe, I think you're having some issues with muting and unmuting. Can you just make sure that's on mute? So there's Eric, there you can see his name. And if you're wanting some more help during the lesson, just send him a message and he will help. Okay, cool, let's get going. So first thing we are going to do is we're going to do a quick recap from Tuesday. Now I'm going to leave you completely alone with this one because this is all the work we did on Tuesday, but I have written you some helpful hints on the side. So don't forget to check your signs. So remember that what you're multiplying by what you're multiplying, what sign are you going to get? Think SNV. S stands for signs, N stands for numbers, V stands for variables. Make sure you think of all three of those letters when you do your multiplication. And then your three important steps: identify your terms, simplify each term, add and subtract like terms. Okay, so all there on the right, I want you to give this question a try. It's okay. Give this question a try. Once you have an answer, put it in the chat for us, and we'll see who lands up getting it 100% right. And who gets halfway there, who gets a third of the way there. However far you go is great. Just give it a try. Oh yeah, so you're studying for your test. That's great. I'm going to take that as a positive. Tiana, how can I help?
Ma'am, can I give
the answer?
Yes.
No, people are still working, Tiana.
Yeah, but Babe's gonna see what Babe's gonna say if you want to talk to with us to the something like it. So can I talk to when everyone is finished?
Okay, as soon as everyone's finished, I'll call on you, okay? Oh, Songa, you also have a math test tomorrow. Okay. Now, if you were here on Tuesday and you were focusing, then this question should be really easy. It's a big hint. That's all I'm going to say. Just be careful with all your signs. Simplify your terms. Your final answer will have 3 terms. Okay, we've got our first answer coming in the chat. Let's see if people agree or if they disagree. Okay, Yolanda, that's a great first step, but remember you now need to add and subtract your like terms after that. Beautiful first step though. Okay. I can confirm that no one has gotten it. Ooh. I can now confirm that at least one answer in the chat is correct. Let me leave it at that for the moment. Roma, be careful of those signs. That's okay, Kurisani. Thanks for letting us know. The most important thing, Kurisani, is that you just always keep yourself on mute. And then when you're wanting to ask a question or answer a question, just use the hands up emoji and we'll call on you, okay? Okay, Tiana, take it away.
So, I don't know why I have to answer so fast because this sum was
The
in
last
the
sum on
recording,
Tuesday.
and that's the last one.
Exactly, exactly. Okay, tell me what you write.
So first we're going to put the 3 in all 3 numbers.
Well, let's first find how many terms does this have?
Oh, there's 2 terms.
2 terms, good. Okay, so term 1 and term 2. Excellent. So that's our first step. We've identified our terms. Cool. Okay, second step.
And then we simplify each term.
Good.
And then it's going to be, the first term is going to be negative 3c to the power of 2.
Good.
The second term is going to be plus 12 because there's 2 negative terms.
Good.
12c, and then the next one is going to be negative 33.
Excellent. Okay, so that's our first term. Now let's do our second one.
Our second term is going to be negative 4c to the power of 2 plus 28c.
Beautiful. Okay, guys, if you got to this point, I'm already proud of you. Give yourselves 1 mark for that and 1 mark for that.
And after that, we're going to find our like terms.
Good.
The first term is negative c to the power of 2 and negative 4c to the power of 2.
Good.
And then the other like terms is 12c and 28c.
Nice. Okay. So what would our final answer be here?
Our final answer will be negative 7c to the power of 2 plus 40c minus 33.
Good. Okay, so well done, Tiana. That was so well done. Keenan, where did the 12c came from? The 12c came from taking this negative 3 and multiplying it by the negative 4c. So the negative and the negative became a positive, and then the 3 times 4 became the 12, and my variable was c. That's where that came from. No, it's not going to be 12c squared because there isn't a c over here. That's just negative 3. There isn't a c next to it. What other questions have I missed here? Oh, I think Eric answered that one, so I don't need to stress. Okay, cool. Why is it negative 7? So the negative 7 comes from having negative 3, and then we're minusing another 4. So if we were to look at our number line over here, let's say that this is 0, and then we've got negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. I did not leave enough space. Negative 6, negative 7. We at the moment are on negative 3. Okay, that's where that negative 3 is. And then we're minusing 4. So we're going minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. And that's where the negative 7 came from. Sebi, can I help?
Hi, ma'am. How is it 40C if 28 doesn't have C? 28C.
That's a beautiful question, and it's because I forgot to write the C.
Oh, okay, because I was just like confused.
Yeah, as you should be, because it was wrong. Well done. Good spot.
Yeah, thanks, ma'am.
No problem. Hi, Jasmine. Okay, let's move on to what we are going to be doing today. So today we are doing binomials times binomials. So a few people brought that up on our lesson on Tuesday. And that's when we learn the rule FOIL. So can I get an idea? Can you use the thumbs up or the thumbs down if you have done binomials times binomials in class? Thumbs up. If you have not done it, thumbs down. Give me an idea of where you're at. Okay, so this should be nice and easy then for like 90%. Doing that now. Okay, cool. Oh, Belinda, I'm sorry. Hopefully that when we go over it now, you will feel a little bit better. Asonge, absolutely. First out is in is last, absolutely. And that is where our FOIL comes from. Okay. So I'm going to do this one. So I'm going to talk you through this one slowly. I'm going to go through it step by step. And then I'll give you one to try by yourselves. Okay. Now, a binomial times a binomial. The word binomial just means, it's just really a fancy word for saying that there are two terms. So if you think of words like bicycle has two wheels, so it's just saying that there are two terms, okay? Monomial, that's saying that there's one term. Trinomial, that's saying that there are three terms. Okay, so binomial just means that there's two. So what that means is I've got two terms over there, and then I've got two terms over there. So I'm multiplying a binomial by another binomial. Now, the easiest way I find to do this is what I will show you now, but FOIL is exactly the same. So I will show you both and you get to the same space. We're just going to focus on one thing first. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take the first term in that first bracket, so that x, and we're going to multiply it by the first term in the second bracket. And we're going to multiply it by the second term in the second bracket. Okay, so let's do that step by step. The first term here, the x times the x, that's going to give me x squared. Then I'm going to take that x and I'm going to multiply it by the 3. So x times 3 is going to give me 3x. Now that x has been multiplied by both terms, so we're finished with it. It's done. Then we move on to our second term, which is the -2. And we do the exact same thing. We say -2 times x, which is -2x, and -2 times 3, which is -6. Now, when we get to this point, all we have to do is find our like terms. So here I've got the 3x and I've got the -2x. And so my final answer is going to be x squared, 3x minus 2x. 3 minus 2 is 1. So we can just write x. You could write 1x if you wanted to. And then you're going to have -6. And that's all we have to do. So basically, you just have to think, I'm going to take the first term in the first bracket and multiply it with both things in the second bracket. And then I'm going to take the second term in the first bracket and multiply it by both things in the second bracket. Now, if you have learned FOIL in school, you're doing the same thing. But let's just write out exactly what that means for anyone who felt confused. Okay, so like Asonge wrote in the chat, FOIL stands for firsts, outer, inner, lasts. Okay, I'm just gonna move this down a little bit. You can absolutely put a 1 in front of the x, 100% you can. Okay, so firsts. Let's go over here. That's saying our first term in the first bracket multiplied by our first term in the second bracket. So our first term multiplied by our first term, which is x squared. Next one is saying outer. So we're thinking the outer term here times by the outer term of that bracket. So x times 3, which gives us our 3x. Then we have inner. So our inside terms. So that's -2 times x, which is -2x. And then our last one, last is our last term multiplied by our last term, which is -2 times 3, which is -6. Kumo, your maths told you that what would be marked wrong? If you did what? If you put a 1 in front of the x? Okay, well, my recommendation is do what your math teacher tells you, because she or he's the one who's going to be marking your tests, but they mean the same thing. It's definitely not wrong. Okay. because it's the same. 1x is exactly the same as x. They mean the same. I would never mark that wrong. It's exactly the same. I'm not sure, but yeah. Sure, Latapa, no problem. Don't worry, we just started this. So also, if you haven't seen this in school, feeling a little bit confused right now is very normal. So don't panic. Okay. Okay. So from here, that's all we have to do. So we're literally following this step by step. We're taking our first, then our outers, then our inners, then our last. Let's try another one that I'll do with you over here. And then I'll give you one to try by yourselves, okay? So let's say I have x plus 1, x minus 2. Okay? I'm going to go through the step by step again. First term multiplied by my first term. So x times x, which gives me x squared. Okay. Next one, outer. My outer term multiplied by my outer term. So x times -2, which gives me -2x. Next one, inner. My inner term multiplied by my inner term, 1 times x is 1x, or x, however you're wanting to write that. And then our last 1 times -2, which is -2. Okay, so that's how we use our FOIL. X plus x is definitely 2x, but we're not saying plus, we're saying times. So we're saying x times x. So x plus x is 2x, but x times x is x squared. When we get to this point here, we now look for our like terms. We've got -2x and we've got positive x. So we have x squared, -2 plus 1 is going to give me -1x minus 2. And that will be my final answer. Okay. Should we try one ourselves? See how it goes. If you had 2x minus 2x, yeah, it would just be 0. So 2x minus 2x is nothing. Is the sign a negative or a positive? This sign in here, I think you're talking about that one. That's a positive. Okay, let's go. You're welcome. Okay, my advice is be careful with your signs. Give this one a go and see how it goes. Be very careful with your signs. And remember, we are multiplying, we're not adding. Oh, Nazi, do you have a question?
Ma'am, can I please answer the question?
We absolutely can. Talk us through what to do.
Okay, ma'am. So you take the x in the first bracket and multiply it in the next bracket, which is x to the power x squared.
Good, well done.
And then you say x times -4, which gives you negative 4x.
Well done.
And then you take the negative 1 and multiply it into the other bracket. So negative 1 times x is negative x.
Good.
And then negative 1 times negative 4 equals plus 4.
Well done. Okay, so now I'm going to have these two as my like terms. So what's my final answer going to look like?
Ma'am, your final answer is going to be x squared minus 5 plus 4.
Minus 5 what?
Minus 5x.
Yes, well done. Beautifully answered, Unati. Thank you. Sebi, do you have a question?
Ma'am, never mind. I was also wanted to explain it, but then she already explained it, so it's fine.
Okay. Oh, I'll keep an eye out for your hand in the next one. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yay, Alvarez, I'm glad. Woo! Yeah, it wasn't nasty, Belinda. I'm not going to be nasty right in the beginning of the lesson. However, your puzzle today, that's nasty. I'm just going to put that out there right now. It's a goodie.
Ma'am, can I say something?
Of course.
I see when I'm not here, the puzzle is easy, but when I'm here, the puzzle is hard.
I got to keep you thinking, Tiana. I got to keep you into it.
I got the puzzle for the first time when I'm not there.
Who have I got here? Letabo, can I help?
Ma'am, I don't understand the signs.
Which signs? All of the signs, or okay, I'm going to try and come back to you just now. I'm just going to help someone else and I will try come back. Jasmine?
If you put x and if you write a 1 in front of the x, how could it be wrong?
Like that?
Yeah.
It's not wrong.
So it's allowed to put a 1 in front of the x.
100%, it's the same thing.
Thanks.
Okay. MK, if you left it there, it's not wrong. It's just, it's not the final answer. So you just wouldn't get the last mark. So often in a question like this, it would be out of 2 marks. So you just wouldn't get the last one. Okay. Okay. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's give it another try. And then hopefully, Letabo, I'll try and be very clear when I go over the signs. So I'll go over this one and make sure that everyone's happy with the signs, and hopefully that will help. But I'll just write a little thing here that might help you if you're struggling with what to do when we multiply with signs, okay? So I'll just write something up here, which might help you while you're working this one out. Okay. So everyone else give this one a try so far. If we are multiplying a positive and a positive, and if we're multiplying a negative and a negative, that's going to equal a positive. So basically, the table, if the signs are the same as each other, then our answer would always be positive. And if our signs are different from each other, our sign will be negative. So just try and use this to help you as you work through it. Belinda's having a full-on emotional crisis with these questions. I don't know how to help, but it's going through a roller coaster of feelings. I love how you say same. Oh, some. Okay. Okay. Okay, Sebi, this one is all yours. I'm just gonna give everyone just a little bit more time to try, and then it will be yours. Amber, I will keep your name on cue for the next one. Okay. Okay, Sebi, take us away.
I haven't finished the equation, but then can I try? So 2x squared minus 4x.
Okay, wait. Let's just go through it slowly. So 2x times x gives us 2x squared. 2x times negative 2 gives us
4x, right?
What's my sign going to be?
4x squared.
I mean, I like the 4x, but what's the sign? Is it going to be positive or negative?
Oh, is it a negative?
It's a negative. So just be careful. So we have a positive multiplied by a negative, which is why it's going to be negative. Okay. All right, cool. Then take our next one in.
Then our next one will be 2x plus 6x.
Okay, so we're going to have a plus 6x, yeah. And then our last number over here.
So 2x minus 6x. This is not hard sometimes.
I think we've got off the rails, Debbie. I'm not sure where the train is, but it's not on the rails at the moment. I think we're looking at different numbers. You've done all of them up to this point. The last one you have to do is just take your 6 times your -2.
Okay.
So a positive and a negative will give you a
Positive and a negative will give you a positive.
Ah!
I mean a negative. I'm sorry, a negative.
Thank you. And 6 times 2?
6 times 2, it will be 12.
There we go. It's stressful. You're on like the limelight. I get it. Don't panic. You did well. Okay. Last thing we have to do is we have to sort out these two like terms that are in the middle over here. So we've got our 2x squared at the front. Now I've got negative 4x plus 6x. What's that going to become?
Ma'am?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't finished it yet.
Don't panic. I'll call on someone else and take you out of the firing range. Okay.
10.
MK, I see your hand is up. Can you talk me through what negative 4x plus 6x is going to give me?
Pardon, may you please repeat?
Negative 4x plus 6x. What is that going to give me?
Positive 2x.
Yes, good. And then I've got my -12. Did you have another question that your hand was up for?
Oh, I wanted to like answer, but like I put mine in a different order, and I feel like if I say it out, it's gonna confuse me.
Okay, don't panic. If you have it in a different order, that's also okay. But this is just what it would look like. Okay, let me try and go through these questions. Keenan, how can I help? If you're talking, you need to unmute. Oh, okay. Buntle?
Ma'am, I have a problem. Are we supposed to add over here when we say 2 times plus 6 and the other bracket, like okay, how can I explain this, ma'am? Like, are we supposed to times? I'm so confused.
Yes, you're timesing everything. You're timesing everything. Okay. So this first one, basically what you're doing to get this first number is you're saying 2x times x. That's what's happening there. And then you're saying 2x times -2.
Okay.
And then you're saying 6 times x, and then you're saying 6 times -2. So all of them you're multiplying.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Hello, ma'am.
I just see that Sasipo has their hand up, so I'm first going to go to there, and then I'll come to you, Valdo. Sasipo? Sasipo, if your hand's up, if you're talking, you need to unmute. Okay, gone. Okay. Where were we now? Valdo, what can I do? How can I help?
This is confusing.
Okay, I've lost you guys. Okay, I'm going to go on to the next question so long because I feel like we're just going to sit here otherwise. Okay, let's give this one a try. So keep the same thing in mind. Just keep on thinking first, outers, inners, lasts. First, outer, inner, last. Okay, so first term multiplied by your first term. outer multiplied by your outer. Think of it exactly like this. Outer multiplied by your outer. Inner multiplied by your inner. And then your last term multiplied by your last term. So this step, I should have 4 different terms. And then I'm going to land up with 3 different terms. Okay, so this step, I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to land up, ooh, hello. I'm going to land up with 1, 2, 3. Okay, MK, I see your hands up. How can I help?
Ma'am, I was asking for the previous answer. I got 4x squared. Why didn't we say 2x squared plus 2x?
2x squared plus 2x. Where are you getting your 2x from?
Like, can you see where you wrote the answer? It's 2x squared plus 2x.
Yeah. Well, why are you unhappy with that? What are you wanting to have?
I'm saying, like, why didn't we add it? Because it has the same.
Let's say, oh, x squared. Oh, sweetheart. Okay, that x squared and that x, they are not like terms because the one has got a power and the other one doesn't have a power. So they're not the same as each other.
Okay, that's wrong.
Okay, no problem. Okay. Okay, guys, I see lots of hands up and I think a lot of them are going to be answering, but I'm going to go through this one myself. Okay, so if your hand is up because you were wanting to answer, you can lower your hand. If it's up because you have a question, you can keep it there for the moment, but maybe once I'm finished going through it, you won't need to think. So just give it a moment. And then if you still have a question afterwards, I promise I'll give you a moment to put your hand up, okay? All right, let's try and go through this together. So we're going to go through this step by step for anyone who's feeling a little bit lost. First, we take our first term and we multiply it by our first term. So 3x times x, which is going to give us 3x squared. That's our first term times our first term. Okay, so if you got that, well done. Give yourselves a pat on the back, 1 mark. Outer 3x times -4. So I have a positive that I'm multiplying by a negative, which means I'm going to get a negative answer. 3 times 4 is 12, and then my variable is x. So I'm thinking signs, numbers, variables. Okay. Next, we're going to do inners. -1 times x. Our signs are a negative times a positive, which is a negative. Our numbers are 1, and our variable is x. Then our last step is we take lasts. A negative times a negative is a positive. 1 times 4 is 4. Now, if you got to this stage, that's really, really great. And I'm really proud of you. Okay. Then the last step, all we're doing is we're adding our like terms. So we're taking the -12 and then we're minusing another 1. So we're going backwards on the number line. So we have 3x squared. -12 minus 1, which is -13x, and then we've got plus 4. And that's the whole thing. That's all we have to do. You got the signs right. That's amazing. Well done. Very, very good. How did we feel about this question? Is it getting a little bit easier? Is it coming together? Tell me your feelings. Got this one right. That's awesome. Good. Melinda, your emotions, I don't know how to deal with them because it's crying when you get it right. It's crying when you get it wrong. Good. I'm glad that they're coming together. Nice job, guys. Okay. Let's try go through these questions. MK, can I help, or was that hand up from before? Okay. Bontle?
Ma'am, the question was a bit difficult because I didn't understand the second method. I didn't understand it. That's why it's a bit nasty. That's why.
Okay, it just takes time and practice. Just remember you're multiplying everything in the first bracket by everything in the second bracket.
Thank you.
Okay, it will take time, but you'll get there, I promise. Okay. All right. Now that we're feeling more confident, we're gonna shake it up a little bit. What is life if not getting more interesting? Okay, so now we've got this 2 chilling on the outside. You've got 2 different options. I'm going to show you what your 2 different options are with this question. And in your different schools, you will learn different things. So do whichever one you are seeing more of in class and you feel confident with. Okay. Option 1 is we can distribute that 2 into our first bracket, but then we have to keep it in a bracket. So we can distribute this 2 only into our first bracket. We keep it there. So we keep it as 4x minus 10. Sorry. Oh. Sorry, my pen's being weird. Minus 10. We keep it in a bracket. And then we keep our other one in a bracket, y plus 2. Okay, so all we did here was we distributed that 2 to give us our 4x minus 10. Okay, and once we're there, we have to remember to keep it in brackets. Once we get to this point here, all we have to do is do our FOIL that we've been doing. Okay, so now we would say 4x times y would give us 4xy. 4x times 2 will give us 8x. Negative 10 times y will give us negative 10y. And negative 10 times 2 will give us negative 20. And then this is one term. This is all one term. And then we would add our like terms, but we don't have any like terms. So that's where our thing will end. Okay. Option 2. Option 2. I'm just going to write it in black so it looks exactly the same. 2x minus 5, y plus 2. Okay. Option 2 is we do our FOIL on those 2 terms first. And we keep these guys in a big bracket. Okay. So we keep that 2 there. And then we do this FOIL. So we would say 2x times y, which is going to give us 2xy. 2x times 2, which would give us 4x. Negative 5 times y, which gives us negative 5y. And then negative 5 times 2, which gives us negative 10. And then our second step, now we distribute this 2 into all of our terms. So 2 times 2xy gives us 4xy. 2 times 4x gives us 8x. 2 times negative 5y gives us negative 10y. And 2 times negative 10 gives us negative 20. Both are fine. Both work beautifully. Whichever one you feel more comfortable with is the one that you should do. So lots of people find this green one a little bit easier. And I think it is easier. But the most important thing, if you do this green one, is you have to remember that that has to stay in brackets. Because if it doesn't stay in brackets, you're not going to be multiplying everything the way you should. Okay, Bontle, I see that hand. How can I help?
Ma'am, can you please keep the questions on? I quickly want to take notes.
Sure. Do you mind taking a screenshot so that I can, would that be easier?
All right, no problem.
Cool. Let's give this one a try. No, these are considered routine. So this would be like, these would be your normal standard questions. So there can't be a final answer because none of these are the same as each other. That's why. So I've got the x, y over here, then I've got x, then I've got y, and then I've got a constant. And so because none of them are the same, I can't add them. Kenan, I think there was a question there, but it got jumbled by some gibberish. Precious?
Ma'am, if you don't mind, could you please explain the light blue part on the second example?
Okay, so all that's happening over here in this light blue part is I'm doing FOIL, but I'm only doing it with my two brackets. So I'm doing the 2x times the y, the 2x times the 2, the -5 times the y, and then the -5 times the 2. That's how I get that bracket. This 2 is that 2 that I'm just carrying down. And then I'm just distributing that 2 in. Okay, all right, at the table, I would recommend, if you're feeling a little bit uncertain with these, I would give the green one a try, because I think you'll find the green one a little bit easier to work with. But just remember to keep it in brackets, okay? All right. Oh, it's a puzzle. Okay, hold on. I'm going to zoom past the puzzle quickly, and I'm going to make this one a little bit easier. You know what I'm going to do? For people who are feeling like they are understanding what's going on and want to try and challenge themselves, I want you to give that question a try. And if you are still sort of getting to terms with this, then I would like you to give just this a try. Okay, so if you're feeling good, if you're feeling confident, if you feel like stretching yourself, then I want you to give this a try. And if you are feeling like you're still a little bit wobbly and you need a little bit more help, you need a little bit more guidance, then I want you to give this one a try. Okay. See how that goes. And then after this, we're quickly going to try and do the puzzle. We might not even have time for the puzzle because it's quiz day, guys. You've got to go do your quiz. We'll see if we can sneak it in. But it's a hard puzzle. Maybe we should keep it for Tuesday. So Lataba, whenever there's two options, go with the one that you feel is easier. Like go with the one that connects with you, because we're not going to force you how to do something. So always do the one that, like, when you see it, you're like, oh, that makes sense. Go with that method. Well, I wouldn't put that question as a level 4 question. I think that would still be counted as sort of routine. Tiana, is your hand up to answer?
Yes, the first one.
I'm going to steal it away from you just because we're running out of time.
Okay.
But you know I love hearing from you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Fulu, do you have a question?
No, ma'am, I wanted to answer the question, but okay.
I'm going to go through these ones just because we're running out of time, but I'd love to hear from you in our lesson on Tuesday. So when you're feeling good about a question on Tuesday, get that hand right up there, okay? Okay, I'm going to zoom through these guys. So I'm actually going to start a bit differently. I'm going to start with the green one because the green is exactly the same as this. And then we're just going to add that in there. Okay. So the green one, the first thing I'm going to do it the easier way. Yeah, you do have your quiz today. Is I'm going to distribute that 3 first. Remember, you don't have to do it this way. So I'm going to get 3x plus 6, and then I'm going to have x minus 7. If you get to that point, that's really good. You've done well so far. That's 1 mark, okay? And you would have done the same thing on the yellow at this point. Now I'm going to do my FOIL. So I'm going to say 3x times x, which gives me 3x squared. 3x times negative 7, which gives me negative 21x. 6 times x, which gives me positive x. And 6 times negative 7, which is negative 35. 42. Oh my goodness, that's not it. 6 times 7. Guys, I've completely blank. 42. That's right, right? Yes. Sure, my maths brain just had like a explosion. Okay. Now, all we do is we find our like terms. 35, my word. Okay. So now I've got negative 21 and I've got plus 6. So I've got my 3x squared. Now I'm dealing with negative 21 plus 6. What am I going to get when I have negative 21 plus 6? I see some answers coming in. Negative?
50.
There we go. Nice. Okay. Okay. And then we're going to have our negative 42. Okay. Cool. That's our first green version. Now the yellow version is exactly the same as that, except that I'm keeping this first. So I've got this 2x minus 3. And then you would have done all of this hard work to land up with that over there. So I would have plus 3x squared minus 15x minus 42. Okay. So now I'm going to distribute this 2 into both. So I'm going to get 2x minus 6 plus 3x squared minus 15x minus 42. And I'm going to find my like terms. So I've got only 1x squared, but I've got a 2x and a negative 15. And I've got a 6, negative 6, and a negative 42. So I'm going to have 3x squared minus 13x minus 48. So depending on where you are, let's see how it went. This was as hard as it was going to get tonight, so don't panic. We will see it. Did anyone land up getting the green one or the yellow one right? Let me know. Let me know how this question went. Who landed up getting, or some of the way, if you got like half of the way. How did this question go? Oh, you got yellow right, Kelvin. That's amazing. Both right. Awesome. Janika, don't panic. It just takes a bit of practice. We'll get there. We'll carry on with this next Tuesday.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Valdo.
Ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, I just got the green one right now.
That's great. That's very good. Nice job. Don't worry, it takes time, guys, but you'll get there. If you haven't written it in that order, it's not a problem. Guys, you've done so well today. You worked really hard. I'm so proud of you. Watobe, you got some of the way and you've climbed a huge hill today by getting your signs right. So you've already won a battle today. Take that win. Remember, maths is about small wins. You don't have to win it all in one day. Little baby wins each time. Okay, guys, I am leaving you in Eric's capable hands because you are going to be doing a quiz today because it's Thursday. And I will see you all on Tuesday after you've all had a beautiful long weekend. So I'm hoping your brains will be rested and ready for some maths when I see you on Tuesday. Okay, so stay on the call because Eric's going to take you through and make sure that you can sign on the quiz. And I'll see you on Tuesday.
Bye,
Bye, ma'am.